Your weekly dose of dicks.
Bringing us in.
Right now on the Dicks Show.
I guess I'll do that tonight.
Okay.
Howdy, everybody.
Do
Wednesday
that,
night.
Dave. Do
Welcome
that,
to the
Dave.
Dick Show. 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night. 7:04. We're a little late tonight. We've been sitting here thinking about all this important, riveting, edge of your seat content that we're going to hand to you tonight.
We've been arguing over some bullshit. It's fucking chaos in California.
It is chaos in California. My name's Richard Mixon. Across from me is DJ Riches. We got the lovely Tiani producing our show to my right here.
I figured out today what TT stood for.
What?
Turban wearing Tiani.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck. I think it's...
That's the chaos that California is in the studio right now.
It's not the chaos we need, but it's the one we're going to get right now.
Bro.
What's that?
How was your week?
Man, it's not.
Tell me about it. Tell me something good.
Tell me something good. Got the exhaust for my bike today.
How was that?
I don't know. I haven't
Titanium?
put it on yet, but it's
Carbon?
We might end. You heard it here first. We might end the show a little early tonight because I got an exhaust system to go put on my bike.
That means you can get the hell out of California fast.
I can. Yeah. I don't know about the rest of my family. I'll have to pile them on the back.
Turn it around in the garage so you can
build a sidecar on it.
You can grab the cats. Put the cats in the back, bro.
I could. Yeah, they'd love that. a little cat box in the back.
See,
I could pull one of their tails. I could put one of them on the handlebars, pull their tail, be like a siren. As I'm riding down the road. Makes perfect sense, right?
I'm going to see you on YouTube. I know it.
One day. We're already on there now, just not for the right reasons, I guess.
Anything else good happened this week?
I can't think anything.
Dude.
Oh, she's going to get a bike now, too. That's a cool thing she's studying for.
What kind of bike? A Grom?
No, we went and looked at a Grom. What's a Grom? Oh, is that little tiny Honda?
the little 125 Honda.
Like a pocket bike. No, I think she's going to get... We looked today at some Honda Cruiser kind of style bike. She doesn't want to have to lift her leg all the way up in there to, get it out over the seat. So, Cruiser's good for that. It's nice. It's easy to handle. So, yeah, I'll probably look at something like that.
Absolutely. Why don't you buy American?
Because I don't want to... there's no such thing as an inexpensive Harley.
True, but you can get a little Sportster, a little 883 or something.
No such thing as an inexpensive Harley.
Yeah, but still, it's a Harley. You just don't want her in the garage be like, yeah, I got a Harley.
I know, right?
That's what it comes down to.
I know, right?
My neighbor.
Next thing you know, a couple weeks, I'm gonna see Scott on a new Street Glider Road King. Just
my old neighbor across the street had a Harley, had a Sportster.
Okay.
Now I'll paint her picture.
Talking about neighbor John?
No, not neighbor John. Neighbor John would never be. You'll understand why in a second.
Okay.
So he had a Harley. Now it was a Sportster. It was an '88. It had tassels hanging out of the end of it. I shit you not, leather tassels hanging off the end of the handlebars.
Like my daughter has on her handlebars?
Abso-fucking-lutely. That's exactly what it was. But these ones are leather, which I guess makes them a little bit more manly.
Okay.
And I was riding down the street. I think I might have had my 626. I don't know. It was a Japanese bike, whatever, street bike. And he made some comment to me about, like, when are you going to get a real bike? And I said, well, when I do, it won't be an '88 version of a Harley. It'll be man's bike, and I won't have handle grips that I pull off and spank myself on the titty with. And they got all offended.
Did you have clamps?
I don't know if he did or not. I didn't want to dive into that.
It may have been, right?
People in glass houses is kind of the moral of the story.
I understand. Buy a lot of Windex.
Yeah, well, he's sitting there with an '88 Sportster telling me when you're going to get a man's bike. I don't know. When are you?
Right?
That is a man's bike too.
Not a Sportster '88. That's like buying that's like a grown ass man going out and buying a BMW 3 Series and then driving it around like he's the shit.
It happens.
It happens.
On a
I once knew a gentleman who.
Go ahead.
Do we have to worry about? Is he ever gonna? No, this isn't the S10 joke. Good thing. I don't think he's ever gonna watch this show. So he had a 318. Do you know what a BMW 318 is?
The little BMW.
Little tiny BMW. It was like a hatchback.
Watch it right now.
Okay.
And it was like 18 years old, and he got there, and I have a BMW.
Everybody has a BMW.
And somebody started calling it a CRX in our group of friends, and he got so angry about it.
I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. And then
that's not a BMW. That's a CRX.
Didn't he go buy like a 6 Series after that or something like that?
I don't know.
He did, but
he got his wife to buy it.
He had a friend who had an M.
Yeah, his wife
he had the
bought
CRX.
it for him.
I get you.
And then got him away from his CRX, and I think it was a fucking joke.
I understand.
Neighbor John says he has a man's bike. He has a couple man's bikes.
Yeah,
so this definitely wasn't Neighbor John.
I would never. We know John better than that.
Right. John's the guy I go to when I have a question about a bike. When I say, hey, my bike doesn't sound right, and he comes over and he goes, number 3 cylinder is got a fouled spark plug on the right-hand side of it.
I should ask him what kind of bike would he
Spark plugs
recommend for me.
Ask him. He's listening.
Probably has
So
one. Yeah.
John, what kind of bike would you recommend for me?
You might want to go like in his garage. You'll be like, "Oh, let me show you. Come here.
I'll take one of these. Matter of fact, I have a project bike for you.
Exactly. No, this week though has been crazy for me. It's been chaos. The kids
Okay.
are back in school, full fledged.
Oh God, yeah, I hear you.
I've been working
The
from
same
home
problem.
still, busy as shit at work. Just chaos.
You know,
dude.
I had the misfortune of sitting in on one of the kids' schools because we sit here, so they sit in what essentially is your position over there.
Can I stop you for a second?
Okay.
Can you pour us a beverage before we get into
Sure,
this
yeah, let's do the
conversation?
liquor of the
Because
week right
we might
now.
need it for this conversation.
So liquor of the week, let's get that up on the screen. We got
Neighbor John's over here said
Japanese whiskey.
no bike for you.
No bike. I
He said stick to the scooter with the lights on the bottom.
know.
Oh,
Damn.
What are we drinking? We got a Japanese whiskey.
Japanese whiskey to go with our
Suntory.
Japanese bikes that we're talking about here.
Mm.
A good idea would have been to have this poured before we started the show, but
Here, I can have the different.
okay, you can take the different one. Ours will be the same.
Honda CBR 300. That's not a bad idea.
Anyways,
Yeah, that's
I can
what-
talk while I'm pouring this. I had the misfortune of sitting in on one of their classes, and
Okay.
so George sits in what is your position here in our studio, and I sit over here, and we can share the space. We have headphones on, and all I hear for a solid 20-25 minutes was the teacher talking, and Kenny, I can't hear Kenny, you need to turn your camera on. Okay, Jocelyn, your camera isn't working. I can't see. Oh, what do you mean you can't hear me? Can everybody else hear me? I'm like, this
names
is
their kid
this
Jocelyn?
this is literally what takes up the first half of the school day, and it seemed to me that it makes sense because I've on Zoom calls where there's 5 or 6 people in our company. It's like 5 or 6 minutes of figuring out why somebody can't hear, Lori, the bookkeeper.
You know what that reminds me of?
You're on mute. You
know
got
what
to
that-
push. No, that's the space. I think you hold the space bar. No, that's the space bar on a MacBook. She's on a PC.
You know what that
oh, well,
reminds
then
me
we
of?
have to the right click on the thing and multiply that out by like 30 students.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
The DNC. Take me the
Okay,
last
third segment. Anyways, cheers. Here we go to a good show tonight to all of our friends out there in internet land. We're drinking some
and
Japanese
hopefully
whiskey. We'll
the
let you know what we think of
Japanese
it.
drinks
I
make
poured
some good
myself a
whiskey.
lot. I was talking too much. Ooh, that's good though.
Oh, this is nice. This is nice.
KTM Duke 390. Christine loves hers. There you go.
Japanese
I think it's
can
too
make
high.
a good whiskey. This is delicious.
They can.
What was the bike?
They're
what
pretty
was the bike
dependable
that
for
was
making
that?
good stuff.
Wasn't it a Honda?
Honda
CMX?
CMX or something like that.
Yeah, Honda CMX.
Honda Grom. 125.
Okay, on to some other interesting stuff. Want to do this day in history,
Let's do this thing. This day.
or
in
did you have
history.
more? Did you have more to talk about with your kids in school?
No.
Because that's
God, I don't want to talk about the kids in school anymore. Please. Yes, please. Move on. Next.
okay. All right, this day in history. 1909, first auto race
let's see
happened
here.
in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now,
Indianapolis.
interesting story about that. So
was it the Indy 500?
no, that came later. So this
Okay.
guy was this farmer built this track because
Is it the same place that where the
yes,
Indy 500
yes,
is now? Okay.
absolutely. So he had just
So it's like hollowed ground.
400 acres or so of open land in this
Gotcha.
area, and he was an auto buff. I mean, 1908, 1909. You had, every this day in history so far has been about something with the auto industry. Has been the very first point we've made. 1908, the first Model T rolled off the assembly line. 1909, a couple weeks ago was when Cadillac was bought by GM. It was a big year for the automotive industry.
So
right?
what kind of cars were they driving in the Indy? They weren't Indy cars at that point.
No, it was a stock car. It was literally a stock car race.
So they had Cadillacs and Ford Model Ts.
Yes, and so what his idea was
Were they souped up?
I don't think they were souped up. His idea was to bring the cars out for each model year and have a race. And ostensibly people would say, "Wow, that's the fast car. That's the one I want to buy," and they'd go. So this was no
I
profit.
want that Cadillac flathead or whatever.
Yeah. Indian head or whatever crazy thing for the motor they have. So he did this, no profit in it. It was something he's interested in.
Let's just. I heard they said the first auto race happened after the second car drove off the assembly line. It's like, well,
Well, that's probably
exactly. My
car.
car's just as fast as yours. Bullshit.
But anyway, so he built this track. 12,000 spectators showed up to the very first auto race.
1,200 people.
12,000.
12,000
people showed up to it.
to this farmland in the middle of Indianapolis.
The roadway that they made was just terrible. It was like a crushed granite and tar mixture, and it just broke apart. 2 drivers died, 2 mechanics died, 2 spectators died, 6 people died at the first auto race.
That's
we kind of buried the lead right
sad
there.
that anybody died, but at the same time, I think
It's
most
history. Look how
people.
many people died making bridges back.
Well,
in those
most
days,
people
right?
like watch races like NASCAR, all that other kind of stuff for the crashes.
Right.
Because if you just
Well, that's what it is
sat
now.
there for 4 hours, watch people drive in circles, I mean, it's boring.
So they, to answer your question about NASCAR and how that happened, was that the track was sucked balls, and they replaced it with 3.2 million paving stones, another fun number.
That's why they called it the Brickyard.
And then very quickly, that was where the name Brickyard came from, and then very quickly numbers started to kind of fall by the wayside, and they came up with the idea that rather than have several small races, that they would do one long race with multiple laps, and that was, I think, not too long after that, maybe a couple of years down the road.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you
back
watch
to this.
NASCAR?
I used to watch it because my dad would have it on,
Who was
and
your favorite
I'd watch
racer?
it, and Dale Earnhardt,
Junior or senior?
Junior. No.
What else? What else we
Senior,
got? What
he
else
died.
happened today?
I don't know. We got to go back to the thing. Tiani took it off the screen. And I
What?
can't see it anymore.
She wanted to see your pretty
1946.
face.
Bill Clinton's born.
Is that historical or?
That was just August 19th, 1946. Bill
Gives
Clinton
a
was born.
physic.
This day in history.
So there's nothing to do with like Monica Lewinsky
No.
or
Period. I didn't
I
put
didn't-
periods on there
I
because you don't do that on bulleted lists. But Bill Clinton is bored. Any questions? Not for me. 1950, Edith Sampson becomes the first African-American representative to the United Nations.
Nice. Congratulations, Edith.
2004, Google Incorporated stock hits the NASDAQ at $85 a share, ends the day at $100.34 a share with
It was
over
a good day.
$22 million shares traded. If I could go back and talk to the 2004 me that was more interested in chasing tail around on a Ninja street bike, I would say buy shares in Google stock.
Now, are you an investor? Do you invest?
Yeah. I'm not as active as I should be.
Are you a day trader? Do you have
I
like
don't
regular
do that.
retirement for
I just
401k?
I've got the regular retirement kind of stuff, and I'm pretty. I didn't start it as early in life as I should have, so I put
That's
quite
something
a good
I'm going to
percentage of
tell
my money in there.
my kids is to start investing early, not just retirement plans, but just buy some stuff here and there. It doesn't
Biscuit
have
said
to
he's
be-
making a left turn. He's still making a left turn.
he keeps turning left. It happens, right?
Creed of NASCAR. All right, a couple more of these to get through. 2010 Operation Iraqi Freedom ends.
I thought they were still fighting
all the
Operation
brigades.
Iraqi Freedom.
We're still fighting over here. Operation Iraqi Freedom ends. 6 brigades remain to train the Iraqi troops.
How many brigades are still there?
I don't know. Did we send more back? 6 remain.
Did we ever send everybody home?
That's not the point of this. The point is that in 2011, the West Memphis Three released from prison after 18 years of confinement. Now, they were the 3 kids
fucking love you.
in Arkansas that were convicted in 1994, I believe. Is that right? No, 2011, 1994.
Arkansas?
Yeah, convicted for murdering a couple kids, and the evidence was just
Jeez.
there was a whole documentary on Netflix about this. I think, right? Didn't we watch that and fall asleep to it one night? Yeah.
So it was good.
Well,
it was a good documentary.
I don't know.
Did you watch the Epstein documentary?
Yeah.
Oh,
Man,
God.
right?
I wanted to barf after like episode 3.
It's terrible.
It's ops.
I felt the same way physically ill about that as I did watching the Tiger King, but for different reasons.
Still, dude, 2020 keeps coming at you, keeps coming at you, keeps coming at you.
Who knew that a gay zookeeper with a crystal meth habit would be the most normal thing that we would encompass in this year?
You know what?
I might keep going. Who knows?
I got stuck watching some stupid shit. Like, do you remember your parents watching those shows when you were younger? Because back in the day when you only had one TV in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they had those shows where like you bring in all your old shit and they would tell you how much it's worth, right?
Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
I think that's still on, isn't it?
I have no idea. But if it is, I want to see it again. No, but they had some girl. She said she actually had an original Joe Exotic Goober National campaign poster, like the.
And she took it to the
sign.
Antiques Roadshow.
No, yeah, that with the Joe Exotic condom. He said, don't get effed. Vote for Joe. There was a condom.
I remember that. Yeah.
And there was something else. I forget what it was. But
And how long ago did she take this to the Antiques
No, this was
Roadshow?
just a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
But it was worth like $4,000. They
Wow.
estimated like if she was selling at an auction, probably sell for $4,000.
Hey, you know what? Jason's exactly. August 19th, 2020, the best show. The Dick's Show had its best show ever on the 18th
I'll accept
episode.
that.
I like that one.
Yeah.
There's one thing that happened.
you.
There's one thing that happened yesterday, and in the spirit of encompassing this week in history, sometimes when things happen, we'll back it up a day and we'll talk about other things that we think are important or
Gotcha.
have some historical facts. So Susan B. Anthony Remember her?
I do. She's the one on the silver dollar, $half, $2.
Yeah, I think it's a silver dollar. Yeah, it's a Susan B. Anthony dollar, or it's the one that we can only use in Canada, or
I don't know.
use it in the Chuck E. Cheese bowling thing. French fries and
I
gravy.
think it was worth $1, but it was the same size of a quarter, so everybody would put it in the quarter machines at the arcade.
It's a boot the size of a quarter.
It's a boot.
Sorry. So anyway, Susan B. Anthony, 1872. She wanted to vote, and at that time, women couldn't vote. Get out of here.
Go.
So she went and she voted, and she got prosecuted for voting illegally. They gave her jail time. They charged her a fine of $100, and you get in jail. Get your ass in jail.
She went to jail.
She went to jail. So Trump did something yesterday, and he said he pardoned her.
So she's still in jail.
Posthumously. Goodness, I hope not. Gave her a posthumous pardon.
Okay,
and
good.
said,
As he should.
Wait, she's still alive?
No.
I was gonna say,
1872
like,
to
this lady old on this paper.
1972.
She said 2020, I had enough.
Born
I'm
in
done.
79.
She died in 19. She died in 2019.
148 years old, I think. Yeah, 148, something like that. No,
exactly. Yeah, she's seen 2020 coming. She's like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah, probably we figure out when the first Susan B. Anthony dollar was made. That's probably about.
No, but she was a part of like Neighbor John's saying she was a big part of the women's suffrage movement.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a big deal.
So what do we come to talk about? He pardoned her today, and of course yesterday.
It only took how many presidents for them to actually give him a presidential pardon?
Right. And I think it's a good movement, but in the spirit of never Trump. No, even you know what? I don't like the guy. I think he's an ass. But sometimes a broken clock.
He says some stupid shit.
He does, and sometimes I wish he would just get back to being president a little bit more and spending less time on the Twitter machine. But you know what? A broken clock.
Can you make the face, the Trump face?
I can't do it. I'm not good at face making, unless I drink some bad whiskey.
More Japanese whiskey.
No, but anyway, so in the spirit of never Trump, and I think a broken clock is still right twice a day. He can make some decisions that just he falls on the right decision, but no, not this one. Says a person who's the director or president and CEO of the National Susan B. Anthony Museum in Rochester, whose organization was given no advance notice of the pardon, because I guess the president needs to hey, get Hughes on the line. Hey,
who called Rochester?
So we're thinking about doing this. Hey, we're gonna do this pardon thing, and we want to know what you think about it, there, Mrs. Hughes. Oh, I think that's a great idea. No, that's not what she said at all.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, she said. She said Anthony was very clear. She felt she had a right to vote as a citizen. She felt that the trial was the greatest miscarriage of justice, as did her lawyers, and to pardon it is to validate the trial. We can see that on the graphic that we had. So, in other words, by pardoning her, you validated the trial. You big stupid orange-faced oaf, and you
can't be a big orange-faced oaf.
Right.
God forbid you something nice.
I was surprised. All right, well, let's talk. I don't Trump, this whole thing, and that's not my intent. His brother passed away a couple days ago, right?
You have the flag outside of your house.
Right. His brother passed away, younger than him by a couple of years. Yeah, passed away. The media was just god awful. NBC networks were just mean. Piling on, just mean. God, you don't speak ill of the dead. I just don't understand. I don't know.
What?
I don't understand this world anymore, honestly. Yeah.
Everybody's just angry, bro. I mean, you can talk about, if you want to keep beating Trump into the ground, there was a big deal, not just his brother dying, but with the United Arab Emirates and Israel having a truce pact that he requested, and they actually did it. The Middle East has been fighting.
There's that damn broken clock again.
Right? Yeah. Haters gonna hate.
Yep.
Thank you, Jay. I mean, you right on. But at the same time, it's like, even when the man does something good, you're like, well, that wasn't good enough. He just did that because he wants to sell them weapons. Well, they were going to sell them weapons anyway, so...
Yeah, because Obama had nothing to do with us selling
right?
weapons to...
Yeah, no other president ever sold any weapons to any other foreign countries, good or bad, but, something's good happening. I mean, sometimes just like you're saying, broken clock deserves, is right twice a day.
Deserves to be broken clock deserves to be fixed until it seems that
But
maybe
even
it's right 3 times a day after you fix it, and then
It's
unless it's a military clock, and then that one's right only once a day.
Let's take a break real quick because it's
That's
already
good. We'll talk about the
10:24.
fires when we come back.
Yes, because I
They
can't
are-
breathe.
They are brazen.
It's the Dick Show.
Like that little twangy guitar right there.
It seems like backwoods country shit, though, bro.
It is. Well, if you're living in the place where that music plays, you're in your car getting the hell out right now. Apparently,
Dude,
I can't. I
have.
I woke up. This tells you what life is like.
Can anybody breathe when you woke up today?
No, I had to. I had to on Tuesday. Was it Monday night? I had to head back over to the city because it was so thick here. There was smoke inside. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't breathe.
But you're one of those guys that smoke inside the house.
I don't smoke inside the house.
You smoke inside the house. I
don't
see
smoke
you,
inside
bro.
the house. I don't
You have
do
those
that.
long cigarettes that you smoke inside the house. You got your ashtray on the nightstand.
Are you kidding me? You know what would happen to me? You know what had happened to me if I got caught smoking a cigarette, let alone I went and had a cigarette when I was drinking one night. She wouldn't kiss me for like 2 weeks.
Just like you still smell like a cigarette.
like an ashtray.
I'm like, it's in your mustache. No, my beard's just gray.
I was
Like,
clean shaven at the time. Like,
More
that
like
wasn't
2
even
weeks.
It was, yeah.
No, like, dude, it is fucked up outside.
And then everybody on social media is like, I got up this morning. How many? If you had to take a guess, how many photos do you think you saw of the sun being buried behind a bunch of clouds? Like, pretty much
700.
everybody on Instagram. Why is Biscuit?
I think there
calling
was.
us right now?
I think that. Well, dude, our phones are blown up. I think we got more pictures of the sun than we actually did booty photos this week, bro, on social media.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but I mean, it's nuts out there. It's fires, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, I remember it was Sunday or Monday. Everybody was blowing up, their timeline on all their social media platforms, talking about, oh my God, it rained, it's hailing, this weather's crazy. Look at the thunder and lightning. Look at the thunder and lightning. And after all the lightning, guess what? We had some fires. Now,
What do you know?
California's on fucking fire. God's pissed at us, bro. Believe in God. Don't believe in God.
That is not God.
Biblical.
No, that is God. God said, fucking fuck Governor Newsom. I need a damn haircut.
That ain't God. That's nature.
Who controls nature?
Nature.
Is there a nature god? Was he one of the Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm not necessarily sure.
Nature
No, but
controls
anyway,
nature.
like as of today, right? As of today, I think this afternoon. I don't know how accurate this is as of current, but as reported from the news in California, 367 wildfires burning right now in California alone. 367. Okay,
That's
and
crazy.
it's all fucking around us. We woke up
Yeah.
this morning, everything's orange. You can't even tell like what fucking time of the day it is. Are you sure it's morning? It might be dusk. It might be dawn. It looked like it. You can't breathe. Cars covered in freaking ash. It looks like snow fell. It's crazy. 250,000 acres are on fire right now. There's so many fires going on right now that they can't even fight them.
There's not fire trucks and personnel and all that sort of stuff.
No, California.
They got people coming from other states.
Yeah,
right now?
California ordered 360 some odd fire trucks from out of state saying, please come help us because we can't do this shit anymore. Right? And
you know what they got when they called some of these places? California.
what did we get? Tell me.
California, I thought you guys broke off into the river already.
Exactly. Aren't you gone?
Ocean, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't an
fucking done.
earthquake take you guys out?
Sorry, Governor Newsom said don't rake the fucking forest.
Yeah.
Like,
Their ranch is burning. Yeah, it's everybody.
Everything
Almost
is
everybody I know
fucking
right now
burning
has something going on.
everything is burning. Like my close friend, my boss actually lost his house last night, and his parents lost their house as well in Vacaville. I heard that Vacaville's under emergency evacuations right now. Fairfield's under emergency evacuations.
Vallejo too. I think.
Vallejo.
Yeah.
Benicia's on a watch. The city of Patterson, up in Diablo Grande, is under Evacuation orders, Livermore and Livermore, like up by Mines Road.
Wasn't there an official that actually said something about, like, if you live in California, period, you need to have, emergency supplies packed and have your car backed in your driveway and just ready to, GTFO, right?
No, actually, I'll read the actual quote for you. So the Cal Fire spokeswoman, we can call her. I call her spokesperson because we're in California.
Spokeshole.
Exactly. Lynette Round said today, my recommendation is that all citizens in California be ready to go if there's a wildfire. Residents have to have their bags packed up with your nose facing out of your driveway. So back your car in your driveway.
The nose of the car. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a big.
So you can leave quickly. Everybody in this state should be ready to go. Should be 10 times worse if you're in a wildfire area.
10 times.
10 times worse. So everybody in the state, be ready to go. The whole shit's burning. 367 fires burning right now, and there's not enough firefighters fighting them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we can't fucking breathe. And guess what? It's 110 outside.
Right? It's crazy. Biscuit said he needed. He was depressed by these topics and he needed to call back. I'm like, we're in the middle of a show.
I don't know. Nobody wants to talk to Biscuit. I want my fucking Vans hat back, Biscuit.
Oh,
Shit.
there we go. We should get him on the phone right now and ask him about that. Just put him on speakerphone.
Exactly.
Call that son of a bitch.
He's still wearing my old ass Vans hat, right?
Damn it.
And I got stuck with the pink Pulse hat.
That doesn't seem like a good trade at all.
No, it seems how when you drink Hennessy, bro. Switch to whiskey.
This was a horse
it's
shot.
all flickered over there. Look at.
Yeah, maybe you run your light
color
down.
flicker.
Maybe you run your light down to a notch and just see what happens.
Let's see what happens here, bro.
That happens. Oh,
Ooh, what's the flickering?
That's what
Oh,
I
the
said.
power's going out in here too?
I don't think the power's
No,
going
just
out.
on
Try
you,
that
bro.
one. Maybe your light. Maybe your light's having some issues. Why don't you go to a? Yeah, there you go.
Cooler? We should
I
go
don't know.
cooler.
Yeah.
It's in the
Right there.
Welcome to
It's just
how
flickering.
we
We gonna fix
how we get our show ready to go.
Son of a bitch,
Everything's
bro.
broken.
See what happens when you buy off on Amazon?
Yeah, I see that.
What else we got going on, bro?
McCloskey's.
Who are they?
So the McCloskey's, in case you don't remember, we got a graphic for the McCloskey's.
Let me see. Who's the
I don't know. I'm waiting
McCloskey's?
for our producer
Who's the
to bring up the
McCloskey's?
Don't be talking shit.
These people
Oh, bro, these
Remember
people
them?
are great, dude.
with the pink shirt and
These are
the
the-
khakis.
Yeah.
We tried to get
Bro,
Little side note. We
hey,
tried to get.
stay strapped or get clapped.
Yes,
all
we
day.
We tried to buy pink shirts and khakis for the show, and the Gap's closed out. Oh, interesting point. Gap's closing all their San Francisco stores.
Why? I
guess
thought that's the
they're-
only people that buy from the Gap.
I get right. So that's kind of doesn't bode well
Right?
for the people.
Who
at Gap.
the hell else buys from the Gap?
Well, we tried. You had money. You went in there like, I have money. I want to give it to you for some clothes. I want what arguably should be available. You know, you chose. I'm going to wager a guess. You chose the Gap because you thought I need a pink polo and khakis, and there's but one place that I could go that I'm reasonably sure that would have those items.
I got you, dog.
And
I
they
got
said,
they're like, I'm sorry, we got no more.
need to get this.
What would
Right.
you say you sell here?
"Not up in here."
Exactly. You walk in there like, sorry, sir, we're sold out of pink khaki or pink polo shirts and khakis. Well, what would you say you have here?
Right.
What would you say you sell here?
Nothing but love for everybody, just not pink polos and
No, you know
khakis.
who came through?
Banana Republic.
No, old fucking Navy.
Good.
Oh,
I can remember a time when
So what
Express was called Structure if you were a guy, and then it was Express if you were a
Yes.
chick. Remember that?
Yep.
And I used to like Structure, and then it turned into Express, and it just got all weird.
And then it was Express Men's.
Yeah, and I went in there, and I was like, I
got some clothes.
heterosexual
I like
man.
their suits. I have a couple of their suits that I used to wear for work. I haven't wore a suit in, I don't know, months now. But
McCloskey's. Who are the McCloskey's? I hear you ask.
yes, tell me.
Besides the people wearing pink polos and orange khakis. So
And toting weapons.
yeah, they were in Jesus Christ. What state was it in? I don't know. One of the states protesting. Doesn't matter.
They were in front of their house, though.
They were in front of their house.
In that picture, they were in front of their own house.
Yeah, they were in front of their own house. Gated community.
Okay.
Some
As everybody aspires to have.
right. Some mostly peaceful protesters decided to break down a gate, and
Mostly peaceful.
mostly
I love when
peaceful
you say that.
protesters
I love
decided
when you
to
say that.
break down a gate and barge in. And these guys, maybe they overdid it a little bit, but they feared. You know what? Bottom line is they feared for their life. You got
If
people,
I had a mob of people out front of my house, guess what I'm pulling out?
right? And I mean,
Guess what you're
and you
gonna
say,
get?
Well, you don't need automatic weapons. I repeat this again, and I will say this on every show if it takes. Google the phrase "roof Koreans." Scott, you're a racist. No, Google the phrase "roof Koreans." It was the group of people in Koreatown
Roof
in L.A.
Koreans.
Roof
Oh, yeah,
Koreans.
that was during the
In
LA riots.
LA
Yeah.
riots in 1991. The only businesses that weren't burnt to the ground were businesses in Koreatown where this whole thing happened, where the owners were standing on top of their roofs with AR-15s.
Okay.
But AR-15s are evil assault rifles, and nobody should ever have one, Rich.
At all?
At all. So anyways,
should I have two?
They came out of there, right? Whatever the government says you ought to do it the other way times 10.
Speak of the government, you see what happened this week? I'm not trying to change the subject because we're going to go back to
We're going to go back to it. No, but what happened?
Yes. So California District Court of Appeals, the Ninth District Court, struck down what they called the high capacity magazines,
in
right?
other words, normal capacity.
But guess what? You still can't buy them in California.
No.
Well,
I know this because what was the first thing I did? I called Zach and I said, "Hey,
Hey, Zach,
I'm probably not the first person to call you about this, but and he said he actually I didn't call him. I messaged him, and it was like he had a pre-prepared message that he sent back to me that he's just copying and pasting because it was like you can't get him. It has to go to the Supreme Court and blah blah blah. And like, of course.
But everybody else in the world says you can have them, but except for California says no. Just kidding. Even though our Supreme Court here in California said that law is unconstitutional. Like, well, it's not that unconstitutional. Not for California. At least.
The McCloskeys.
What happened?
They were charged.
Why?
For brandishing weapons. And some interesting information's come out. There's been a rife between the investigator, lead detective on this, and
Why?
the DA. Well, because the DA came to the detective and said sign off on this, and it had to go through 20 different variations before the detective would say okay. For one, these two people were attorneys.
Hold on a second. Just so everybody else understands. So they were making the detective, or the DA was making the detective. Let's change your statement so it fits our agenda.
How about headline, St. Louis prosecutor to detective on McCloskey case. I suggest you quickly reassess this evidence. That's the prosecutor telling the detective,
that
reassess
sounds like
your
O.J.
evidence.
Simpson. I'm not saying that he should have done it, but
this
understand.
is the prosecutor telling the detective, I don't like your evidence and reassess it. One of the things that happened was the small little pistol that she had was inoperable. They're lawyers, and it was something used for
it was 280 or something.
When the handguns were submitted as evidence, the AR-15 was in working condition. The handgun was not. The prosecutor ordered that handgun be reassembled in such a way so that it was working, so that they could be charged. She could be charged also as brandishing a working firearm.
Okay.
These are facts now.
Okay.
So among some of the concerns, the DA characterized the protest as peaceful and organized, and that was calling attention to racial inequities in the criminal justice system. Bergdorf, the detective, wrote that the evidence he gathered showed the protest was to call for the resignation of Mayor Lita Crewson. The final document ended up calling it a protest march. So you got the DA saying they were there being peaceful protesters, and the detective saying they were there to show up to the mayor's house. Hinckley wrote Patricia McCloskey was armed with a semi-automatic handgun. Bergdorf wrote the phrase should read what appears to be a semi-automatic handgun. But he responded, you can't be serious with this one. Again, this is problematic. Ultimately, the document read what was later determined to be a semi-automatic handgun.
Isn't everything in California, or
right,
isn't most handguns semi-automatic?
Hinckley called Mark McCloskey's gun an assault rifle. Bergdorf called the word assault a propaganda term. I agree with that. Everything's an assault rifle. If I take this pen and I stab you in the neck with it. In fact, I learned this again going back to the police academy. If I aim a water hose at you as you're walking by my house,
it's assault.
I've assaulted you.
Yes. Unless
spray just gets on you. Yes. But if I determine
if you spray somebody with it, then you molested them.
How about my finger?
Maybe. Your finger can be that too. Hinckley wrote the protesters passed through an open gate. Bergdorf said he didn't know whether the gate guarding the private street was open when protesters went through it, but at some point it was damaged. So in other words, they just came through an open gate. They meant nothing by it. He says your points are really problematic. It seems to go between oversight.
Can I have one person? Can I have one person? If there's any that are listening to our show at any point in time, please comment and say if there's anybody who just wants to come through my gate, whether it's opened or closed or not, and not expect me to put to protect my property. You're what? I'm sorry.
Exactly. No, I'm agreeing.
Exactly. If you think that I'm not going to protect my family and my property, if I did not invite you onto my property and you come through an open gate, whether I was mowing the lawn or I forgot to close it or whatever it may be, it was broken. Don't come through my gate.
Come right on in. You look like you're here. Hey, make some tea and some muffins. We just finished a nice batch of cookies.
Exactly. Come on in. As Jason up there, come on in.
Giving me what I
See
want.
how well that works out for you. I promise.
Okay, so Hinckley
This
wrote.
ain't what you
Hinckley,
want.
this is again the DA wrote that Mark
nuts.
McCloskey's gun was visibly loaded with an ammunition clip. The detective wrote
As it should
he
be.
would have to verify the detail because it wasn't mentioned in his report or interviews with them. DA wrote back, "Are you serious?" Ultimately, the document did not include the phrase Hinckley wrote.
God, I'm serious with this.
So I should be. I think everybody should be serious.
No, this
I
is
would hope
nuts.
that-
This
yeah,
is
this
nuts.
is absolutely nuts.
If you do not have the right to protect yourself, that is the whole point of the Second Amendment.
No, I know.
And everybody knows, all my friends know that I'm a big 2A guy. You absolutely have the right to protect yourself, your liberties, and your freedom. And if I don't own anything, if I don't own my fucking house, I don't own shit.
Right.
And if I can't protect my family,
Yeah.
it's the fucking
Well,
point.
call the police that we're trying to defund, Rich. When seconds count, they're only
See how
hours
that's
away.
gonna work out.
Yeah, I'll see how that's gonna
exactly.
work.
You know what? My house is on fire. Call the fire department
All right,
too.
let's switch up gears a little bit. I got a funny thing.
No,
So-
no. Let's not do this yet. I want to wait because you know
Wanna wait?
what? It's
Okay.
already 7:40, and I want to wait to the last segment because it's fucking funny.
Okay.
So let's talk about Uber.
All right. Fair enough.
So,
Uber.
anybody tried to call Uber lately? Anybody gone to the bars that are closed? And
Oh, what happened? They're closed? I mean, they don't work?
5 o'clock on Thursday, Uber will not be around anymore, and they have already. Steve was trying to get over to the city, and he had to wait 45 minutes for a car because the drivers are already like, well, then I guess I'm going to go find.
yeah,
some
you
other
you got to
ways
wear a
make money.
mask.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to stay. You can't pick up 2 people. You can only pick up 1.
Well,
There's
that's all.
kinds of weird
understandable.
rules. But
85 we talked about on the last one, and they're 5
Or you
o'clock
could
p.m.
do that shit
Thursdays
on
when
the
it.
slide.
Well, I don't think there's an app. For
no,
Uber
that's how
on
you
the
call.
side,
That's
though.
why you call a friend and be like, "Hey, are you sober? Yeah.
Right.
Can you come pick me up?
Are you sober?
I'll give you like 10
Are you
bucks.
more sober than I am?
What would you consider sober? Like
Yeah.
police sober or like?
Able to drive, pass a breathalyzer.
Yeah.
I don't
Fucking
ever.
suck.
I don't ever want to get in a situation like I was in back in the day, where I was the best guy among the 3 of us. to
You were
drive when I came
always
back
known,
from-
like as our friends, as we were growing up. Once we were old enough to drink legally, Scott was always the guy that was. Well, of course you're gonna drive. You're
One
the
day we'll
best.
ha- one day
You're the
we'll have
best. You're the best drunk driver out of all of
We'll
us.
have to tell that story about us at the bar in Sacramento. One
No,
of these shows. I
that
think
story
that'll
doesn't
be-
exist
yeah.
anymore. That story was
Rayanne, yes,
forgotten.
Uber is going to be done
So-
on sober.
So will Lyft.
Because he wants to be on the
and
show.
so will Lyft. Yep.
Yep, Uber is done.
Uber Eats is still going to be okay. I don't know how that's going to work.
No,
but-
that's gonna stop too.
all right.
They're talking about that any too. Because if you have to clock in and clock out and not be an actual employee, well, who's gonna deliver?
Biz wants something to say. He
Biz wants to come back live on the air. Let's bring him live on the air in our third segment, maybe.
Who?
We'll talk about that during
Biscuit?
our break.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
No, let's take a break. Let's take a break, and
let's
we'll
take a
come
break.
back
We're
and
gonna
do
come
funny
back because
stuff.
we got some funny shit.
We do have.
Stay tuned.
some
We'll be right
funny
back.
shit.
It's the Dick Show.
Hold on to your mind. Destiny you will find in your own way. Yeah. Ooh, well.
Well, Biscuit, you almost lost your chance. We're gonna try. Let's try calling him once more. Is he on
Try
here?
to call a little biscuit one more time.
You sound like you were in a pothole.
Oh, there he is.
No, you sound like you're in a pothole.
There we
bro.
go. We got him here.
You gotta pull
I
your
gotta
beard.
No, I'm
Pull,
not anymore, Mr. Richard.
pull the beard away from your mouth.
Hey, what do you call two dicks in a garage?
What?
You guys.
We're not even in the
We're not
garage.
in a garage. Though.
What the fuck?
You think I'd be sweating like
Hey,
like Kunta
hey.
Kinte at a Merle Haggard
Okay,
concert.
so-
if
I don't
was
think you
doing
can
this
say
in my
that
garage
anymore,
right now.
bro.
Probably
Hey,
not.
hey,
What?
hey, what do you call two dicks in a cup?
I got nothing.
Fire, what?
Overflow?
4 balls short.
Yo ass.
Where's the button? No, where's the crickets button?
I just came up with that just now.
What you
Okay,
want, bro? What
So,
you want?
so kids, this is a warning to all the kids that are listening to us right now. Don't do drugs.
I don't know. Are you guys on the show right now?
Yes,
We're on. You're on.
What's
You're.
up?
I'm holding the phone in front of the microphone.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Well, you should have told me that. I would have fucking dressed appropriately.
Idiot.
We got to get to the Cardi segment.
Oh God.
Oh,
So
have fun. I'll be back.
Good talking to you. Okay. So
Cardi, you want to talk about Cardi?
Yeah, she's got a song. So she's in the news. She's in the news lately. I mean,
seen
first
her.
of all, we got her. Right?
What happened with Cardi, bro?
So she's got a couple new songs that came out, and she also interviewed Biden. So you see right there. She
You know what I
once
just
said,
realized?
She once
You know what I
said,
just
"I used to
realized?
drug."
You know what I just realized?
What?
If you put the B in front of her name is B Cardi.
There might be something to that. So she said, "I used to drug up
Who?
and rob them." Cardi said that.
Who?
She would drug people up. As
Okay.
when this is back when she was a whore.
A what? A woman of the night?
Yeah, and she would drug people up, her clients, so to speak, and rob them. And we're allowing her to interview presidential candidates. So what I've done here,
Perfect.
I've got some printouts. I'm going to pass these out here to everybody. And I want you. So these are lyrics from
What
her
is-
most recent song.
what is this? I got a
that-
body
that's
like
WAP.
Cardi.
So what
Cardi
we're going to
put
try
pussy
doing here,
on.
we're
What do we
going to
got here?
pretend
What do we got?
we're going to pretend that the show's made for kids for like a few
There's
minutes.
some whores in this house.
Hold on. I got to set this up.
Oh.
We're going to pretend that we're all kids for a moment.
I want to hear
Right?
Tiani laugh.
And that this is a kid show. I want us to read through this, and I want us to try and come up. I can do this, okay? I'm a wordsmith, but I want everybody. We're just going to kind of look this over. I want
You're a wordsmith.
I want you to
Oh my
describe
God.
this song in the most G-rated, clinically correct. I'm teaching.
clinically correct,
I'm
okay.
teaching children.
Okay, so this is our
class
Zoom
in-
call. This is our Zoom.
Yeah.
Our
So
Zoom meeting
first
for
of
the
all,
kids'
so let's
school.
first of all
Okay, got you.
address the title of the song is WAP. Does anybody know what that stands for?
It stands.
What
does it stand for? Yes, I know. I know what it means, but
it's
what?
a woman's.
It's a moist.
Yeah,
a moist anus.
and then an
Genitalia.
adjective.
Genitalia.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Is genitalia appropriate?
The song starts out with there's some. We're not going to read these. We're just trying to describe exactly. So it starts out with saying there's some women of the night in this home.
In this home,
There's
some women in this of the night in this home. There's some women of the night in this home.
Moist genitalia make the pull-out game weak.
Okay, you do this one. I'll do the verse one.
You're messing around with some moist genitalia, and then it goes on to talk about the level of cleaning supplies that you would need for the moist genitalia.
What kind of cleaning supplies?
And then the next one is apparently everything in the house for the moist genitalia.
That's all the towels.
Over.
How many towels does an average person keep?
Give
in
me
the-
everything you got for this moist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Verse one.
Yeah.
Right. This is.
We only
Cardi
got one
B.
page, so we don't have
Yes.
to worry about that.
Okay.
If we're losing any viewers to this, just bear with us.
Beat it up, ignorant man. Catch a charge.
I always
Extra
thought that was
large,
homie. I thought
extra
that
large.
word was a word for homie.
No. Negative.
Can't you say my and you're calling him a homie? Not if you're.
You can't.
I can't.
You
Tiani
cannot.
could though.
You cannot.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Put this genitalia right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top. I want to ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside.
What's it? Define Kegel.
I never
For the
done
people
one. Tiani, what's a Tiani? What's a Kegel?
I'm doing it right now.
What would you say you're doing?
We need to add another webcam.
Exactly. What would you say you're doing right now? Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes.
Oh my
This genitalia
God. What?
is moist.
Moist. Come take
Now I
a
see
a
why
dive.
you guys kept this from
Yeah.
me.
Tie me up like I'm surprised.
And then
let's
she's
role play.
describing the size
role
of the
play.
male's genitalia in
What
terms
size?
of a Mack truck.
What song is that?
And then she's referring to her genitalia as a small garage. It seems like driving a Mack truck into my garage would cause permanent and irreparable damage. I would hope for a fire at that point so that I could get it fixed.
I'm not sure this is gonna work. Dude, have you seen Ozzy?
No, let me just keep driving. It's a Mack truck.
Have you seen Ozzy's house,
Wait,
you seen his garage?
Yeah, it's insane.
bro?
I don't cook, I clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring. So we only printed like a verse of that.
I don't cook or clean, but I got this ring. How'd you do that?
by
That's all it takes.
various forms of sexual pleasure. Apparently.
I would do the same thing if somebody would buy me.
And then
fucking
apparently,
house.
and then apparently, after the Mack truck drives into the garage, then
So you ruin the
then she-
garage and you still
and then
got a
she-
ring.
and then she beats him up and takes his money.
Exactly.
But
then
we
guess
want-
what?
but we
I'm going
want
to
her to-
interview I'm going to interview the
We
president.
want to interview the Democratic presidential candidate. Let's not call him the president yet. And my question is, okay. Here we go with the,
Let
with
me
the
know,
Trump
let me know,
Biden
let me
thing. Here
know,
we go with
let
the
me
Trump
know.
Biden thing again.
So tell me
Can
one.
you defend I want to hear from somebody. Our viewers,
Anybody.
You're right on there.
If you can give me, go in the comment section, give me one good reason, we'll bring you on the show live right now.
Yeah, I want to hear a defense for voting for Biden without using the word Trump. A defense for voting for Biden, because I want to remind you that
Hold on, hold on, we'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait. If we keep waiting, we're gonna have to do both of these.
Just one comment. Give us one comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Time's up.
I thought we had a call. I was kind of excited.
Right. No. So in my opinion, here's the problem. Those two are the antithesis of everything that the left believes. There are women that have come forward that have said he touched them inappropriately and molested them.
Trump or Biden?
Biden. Kamala Harris has put more black people in jail because of minor drug offenses.
Kamala Harris put more black people inside of her to get to where she was.
Did a black person inside. You get my point. They're the antithesis of everything that the left claims to stand for, and I want to hear the defense of voting for them other than using the word Trump. And please don't say, well, he's the most viable progressive candidate. Well, because he's the only one.
Because I'm the only one. Name that movie.
You can come back.
I'm the only one.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh. Of course I know that one. Oh.
The wonderful thing about Biden is Biden is wonderful things.
My parents, I think, were pretty upset at Winnie I broke a VCR with Winnie the Pooh.
I don't want it. Do I want to know why
I watched it so many times that I broke the damn VCR. And we're talking about, like, VCRs weren't cheap. This was the VCR. You push the button in the front, like you had to push it really hard with your thumb.
Did you have
and
that
then
on
the
beta?
top went and it opened up and you jam the tape in there and you close the top
like
down.
Darth Vader?
Yeah, it had bigger shock absorbers on the tape thing than she has on the trunk of her Lincoln, and you push it back down and my dad would record things and it had a wire that came out the front with a button and you could stop the commercials, right? I broke it watching Winnie the Pooh over and over again as a little kid.
Dude, it's nuts, the kind of stuff that's going on in politics. I haven't heard anybody, all my left-wing friends, because I seen what you
anybody
posted.
but Trump.
No, I seen what you posted on Facebook today, and I respected it a lot. Like, I don't hate anybody for having an opinion. I respect you for having an opinion. I don't have to agree with it,
right? But
you deserve to have an opinion.
Well, and here's my thing. I have not deleted or blocked anybody for having a different political view.
You blocked me.
I have not blocked you. For having a different political opinion. I believe that my friends who think opposite as me, and mind you, 48% of my friends are diehard right wing, 48% are diehard left wing.
You do spend a lot of time in San Francisco.
And there's the 4% in the middle that think that every politician should fucking hang is me and like two other people I can name. So I've got friends on both sides, and I don't believe that any of my friends that think in a way that I think is going to be the end of our country actually think that themselves. They have a different political view. They can have a different religious view. And I think, and I've read books on this now, that we are in the social media age are surrounding ourselves with this echo chamber of people that think the same way that we think. And when we're blocking and we're getting rid of people that have opposing views, and we're not allowing ourselves to think differently. I've had my opinion on some things turned around by some stuff other people said. Where I said, that makes sense, and I get it. And but there are so many people that are just immediately get triggered, and I'm going to block this person. And I've had
John is one of those guys who wants everybody hang.
Right? Yeah, John's
but that's a great opinion. Like, I think that's very respectable, and that's why I have a lot of respect for you. But I think I don't want to even say but I think what America is missing is human kindness. Whatever happened to being just a good fucking person. Be a good fucking person. Quit being a piece of shit. Quit hating everybody. Quit trying to fucking hate somebody for the way that they fucking think.
Fit the narrative.
Exactly. Just be a good fucking person, right? If you need some help, I'm going to fucking help you.
Yeah.
Straight up. You know what? If you need your muffler bearings changed or the blinker fluid
low.
I got you.
There also used to be a time where I didn't need to know what my neighbor thought politically. We were just neighbors, and you didn't discuss religion or politics or anything like that at dinner parties because it just... and I think I still hold to that. I want to hear you talk about a poop transplant because that's the last thing on our list before we sign off.
This show is shit. This show is shit. So,
I mean, speaking of people that are full of crap, we just had one on. We just had one on the air live with a phone call. So
exactly. So there was a poop transplant, and it cured a man's disease.
So poop. Because I feel like I have a poop transplant every time I,
No.
5, 6, 7 times a day when I'm
right.
in
There is something called auto brewery syndrome. You ever heard of it?
auto brewery syndrome.
Brewery. It's too many R's for me.
And it's a
Too many
syndrome?
R's for me.
It sounds like it would be
It's a syndrome.
Hey, hey, come check out my new auto brewery. I got one in the garage. It seems like it wouldn't be such a bad thing to have.
It's a rare condition involving excessive fungal growth in the gut. Right.
Ooh.
So there was a 47-year-old man.
Okay.
Who had this rare condition. All the doctors tried helping the patient. They put him on special diets. Said, hey, you know what? Let's figure this out because you're drunk all the damn time, right? This guy got to the point to where he was drunk so fucking much they took his license away.
But he wouldn't have a sip of alcohol.
Not a sip.
He was like,
Not a sip.
I
He was
swear
just
to
like-
God, I'm not drinking anything.
He was
Take me drunk, I'm home.
exactly. Take me drunk, I'm home. All the time.
There's a word for people who drink and drive.
What's that?
There's people who don't like.
Who doesn't? You fucked it all up. You ruined that. I tried to feed you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
drunkards.
So
that's
what
the word for 'em.
Exactly. So what they did is they actually took a shit. They said, you know what? Take 2 girls,
A
one
stool
cup.
sample.
Yeah.
I doubt they had 2 girls in a cup involved.
one-
Well, there might have been 2 nurses that took.
It might have been one guy, one cup, but they said poop in a cup, right?
All right, stool sample. Yeah.
There was bacteria in the feces. They said, you know what? This is turning into basically it's turning your stomach into a still.
The poop is.
Yeah.
So that he was. Well, I mean, he was full of shit. Basically, is what they were saying.
He was full of shit.
He wasn't passing it through.
The bacteria.
He wasn't passing it through
the
fast
bacteria
enough.
in his stomach was actually.
Maybe we should have tried to do this one the way we did Cardi B.
How?
Like not use the word shit.
You cannot use the word poop.
Clinical.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It said so. What actually happened is
Brandy, I have heard of leaky gut. I have it.
It wasn't leaky gut.
I have it
syndrome.
after the show every time from all the alcohol that Rich forces me to drink.
I force you to drink that. Like you're the one who purchased this liquor.
That's good too. Can't wait to drink that this weekend at the
No.
camp out that I still hope
So
happens.
what they did is they actually transplanted the fecal matter in his small intestine with somebody else's fecal matter that didn't have the same bacteria and it actually cleared him up.
and it killed it up.
It sobered him up.
Wait a minute,
but
they
so-
transplanted other shit.
So bacteria in the other poop killed the bacteria that he had in his poop. Essentially, is what they did.
Yes, exactly.
That is the craziest thing I've
Exactly.
ever heard. Wow.
Oh,
Could you imagine being a
here's-
donor on that
here-
one?
You know what? It's funny. My cousin Brandy's the one who said leaky gut. So
Yeah.
she told me about this shit years ago. She's over here running around like, oh yeah, you got leaky gut. I'm over here eating all this weird shit. And I'm like, I'm not eating that shit. Well, you're going to have leaky gut. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to have leaky gut. But if leaky gut makes you drunk for no apparent reason, doesn't sound like that bad of a disease.
Could I
to
get
me.
this disease when I'm like 87 or 88 or something like
Well,
that?
the guy
when I
was
just, you know-
47. He's just like, you know what?
Yeah,
I got
I don't want
10
it
more
to-
years. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't want it then, but when I'm in my late 80s and I'm kind of, hey, it'd be nice if I didn't have to get up off this chair and go buy liquor all the time.
Exactly. You know what? I'm just going to not go take a shit.
Imagine being the donor for that.
But what those farts smelled like.
Sir, we're going to need you to poop in here. What's this for?
You
Well, we
would-
need to put your poop inside of somebody else's poop channel.
Exactly. See, now they have 2 men, 1 cup.
Called the shit poop.
He called the shit
I
poop.
have to pick myself up.
What a note to end on, huh?
Jesus Christ. What does this show come to?
Bunch of poop talk.
Exactly.
And
Shit
the
talk.
producer likes her new webcam.
Hi, Turban Tiani.
Shut up.
Let's talk about. So I want you to. T, can we end the show on something funny? Will you do me a favor?
Leave me alone.
Will you do me a favor? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Nope.
Why?
Nope.
Why? Rap these lyrics. Rap these lyrics straight up. Straight up.
No.
Start
Why?
with the first one. We can hear what the real thing is.
Exact. Rap. I want to see you rap this.
I can't.
All right.
What is this song?
Scott,
What-
this is-
I have
Scott,
is a
give her.
song
Scott,
about
give her a
the-
beat. Give her a beat.
There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. I said certified freak 7 days a week. No.
I was hyping you up. We got you.
Carol Baskin has been whacked
Oh no, this is too graphic for me.
It is
What do you
pretty
mean it's
graphic.
pretty
That was the
graphic?
point of the.
Hella
That was the point of the
graphic.
whole thing. Yeah.
No,
it's-
this is the person that.
I'll tell you that verse 2 gets even.
Yeah, it
verse
gets
2
nasty.
just
Yeah,
starts.
yeah,
This is apparently the crudest song.
Hold on, she's going. She's going. Let her go.
Yeah, this is too freaky.
Come on,
even
you
for me.
you got this. You got this. Come on.
Crudest song made.
Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass. Yeah.
What?
this is too-
I'm so, you can't even do it.
We can't have her. We can't have her kids
No.
googling our show and
She's
then hearing
over
us
here-
say this.
No.
No.
This-
Calling an end to this right now.
This woman is
Mommy said it.
talking politics.
Beat him up.
Yeah, she's interviewing Biden. I don't understand. You know, all Biden has to do is just kind of not piss
He has to
people
hide.
off.
He has to hide. He has to hide.
Don't just
Stop
don't
smelling
take
people.
chances.
Stop smelling people.
Talking about hair curling up. Just
Wipe
don't
your
go out in
nose
public
like a
and
credit
he's
card. Hop on top. Wait, wipe your nose like a credit card. What?
Wipe your nose.
Yeah.
like
Nope.
I think.
He says
Sorry.
swipe your nose like a credit card.
A dick
Is
like
it down the back of her ass?
dick like
Where does it say this?
mine, dick
What am I
like
missing?
Yeah,
mine
swipe your nose like a credit card.
is hard to
Oh,
find.
it says put this genitalia right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card.
A dick like mine.
Hop on top. I want to ride.
Like mine, dick like mine.
Spit in my mouth. Spit in
Works
my mouth.
every time. Dick like
Get it.
mine.
Get it.
Come on, take a drive. Tie me up like a surprise.
We're fucking out of here. This show
Sweet.
sucks.
Let's
sucks.
play this song again and try this one more time now. Everybody, thanks for catching us on a Wednesday night. Thank you for tuning in. Catch us again next Wednesday where we have less poop to talk about and more real content.
I ain't
hope.
tuning in next week.
You didn't tune in tonight.
This show is shit.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Salute.
Dick
Salute.
like mine, dick like mine. Works every time. Dick like mine, dick like mine. A dick like mine.
The Dick Show.
What song is it?